back in the, I suppose it would have been the late 70s. And that was quite popular. The cars sounded great, and they looked well, but they were much more sort of production kind of cars with one or two minor tweaks than some of these. I know these are production-based cars, but these actually look considerably hotter than the 323s did, which had pretty much standard wheels and tyres and stuff and all that. But some really good drivers drove them for different BMW dealerships around the country.
And we've got support from Automac, as you can see on screen. Many thanks to Automac for their support of the championship and the coverage this weekend here at Silverstone.
There's the Rick Kerry 118 V8.
Yeah,
1 Series
absolutely.
V8.
Looks quite a menacing beast, doesn't it, that one? So, last few rows of cars just collecting into position on the grid. The final car on the grid is the 210 car of Michael Dark. I think we're missing Adrian Williams, number 67. We're missing also the 222 car of Simon Thorpe, then, by the looks of it. So, should have 26 cars. 5-second board is shown then. Wait for the red lights to come on, which they do. And out they go. And it's a pretty hot start by both of the drivers from the front row. Robert Davidson on the outside line there. And it looks like it's going to be Graham Crowhurst possibly that goes through on the inside as they head through Copse Corner for the first time, down towards Magnets and Beckett's. What can you tell us, Marcus?
Yeah, it's Crowhurst, but Cut comes flying past him under braking into Beckett's. They're side by side, absolutely wheel to wheel. I think there might have been just the merest of brushes there, but they've escaped. And they get on the outside. It's Cut from Crowhurst, then it's one of the silver cars. Bear in mind there were two in the top four. And they're all out onto the hangar straight, and here they come. Absolutely fantastic sight this makes, as a full field of BMWs scorches down. Another red one coming up through on the inside there.
Pensaval, isn't it?
That's Pensaval. Yeah, through he comes.
Up to third place then, from fifth on the grid, having sort of been shovelled back.
Oh, the first two went really wide, didn't they, at Stowe? Out over the curbs. And that's allowed this morning's winner to squeeze Crowhurst on the outside. Is he going to get through the JK car? They are wheel to wheel, but he's made it through as Pensaval.
And Hugh Gurney, I think, will try and follow as well. He's in fourth place at the moment. Of course, he went well as well in the road sports race before lunch too, didn't he? So he's had a busy day. Then you've got Rick Kerry in fifth.
Paul Cook's behind him, isn't he? In the 43 car.
Yeah. Oh, is that actually? That was Robert Davidson, I think, possibly in fourth place. I beg your pardon. So it's Cut from Pensaval, Crowhurst, then yes, Davidson, then Rick Kerry fifth, Paul Cook sixth. As they head away.
Then it's Hufford, and then it's then I think it's Gurney, who's dropped back to about eighth at the moment, ahead of Kempton.
So it's gone the opposite way to what I thought he'd done. Down the Wellington Straight they come, then under the vehicle bridge for the first time in this 18-minute plus 1 lap race. Turning their way now through the left-hander.
Here comes Kerry.
Yeah, he does indeed, and he's dispatched Crowhurst there at Brooklands, or has he? Crowhurst clinging on around the outside at Brooklands. That gives him the inside line for Luffield. Kerry's got half a car length ahead, but I think Crowhurst has got the better line through the corner. Bit of a twitch on from Kerry on the exit, and Crowhurst therefore clings on, but then Kerry with more power has another bite of the cherry through Woodcote Corner, drives around the outside of him, and let's see how that pans out as they arrive at Copse Corner. Yes, Kerry's got ahead now, and he is up into fourth place.
Yep, that was fantastic, and here they come then. It's Pensaval from Cut, from Davidson, from Kerry, from Crowhurst, from Cook, then it's Hufford, then it's Gurney, then it's Kempton, then a gap back to the rest, and they're headed by Kaz Singh in number 3. Down onto the hangar straight the leaders go, and still a few coming through now. Long drawn out field this is, but there's a train of Bavarian machines charging down towards Stowe. Difficult to see who's in the guards van. I think it's going to be Kempton by the end of the straight.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The back of that group. There's you got the brightly coloured car of Cook having a go.
It's a change of lead, as you say, so it is Pensaval ahead of Cut there. Well, that's the lead at the end of the lap, of course, but yeah, it was Cut, of course, who led for part of the first lap. think we had 3 or 4 different leaders in actual fact.
Yes, we had Crowhurst to start with, then we had Cut into Beckett's, and then we had Pensavalli at the end.
Yeah, so he's got the lead away from Cut, but Cut's clinging on, isn't he? In second place, he's raced this car with the CSEC as well as the Darlington District Motor Club. And the Northern Sports and Touring Car Championship based up there at Croft. Davidson in close proximity, then Kerry in fourth. You've got the 2 M2 leaders together then. Paul Cook, I think, had problems in race 1, the way he dropped back at one point, but is right behind Graham Crowhurst now.
Yes, he is, and yeah, Crowhurst and Cook still ahead of Gary Hufford, with Gurney and Kempton, that group. Kaz Singh trying to bridge the gap to get with them. Behind Kaz Singh is Gary Burstow in 83. 35 is Colin Whitmore. He's a class leader, but he's kind of all on his own at the moment.
And there is a change. That's the 8 car of Bill Redrop getting past number 10, Clive Watson. Clive Watson running second in the Cup class at the moment, behind the champion Matt Page. And there behind him is the 37 car of Cavan Grange with a novice cross on the back of the 330.
Yeah, spinning its wheels like mad coming out of the loop.
There's our 6-cylinder class champion, number 25, Darren Ball, just ahead of Stuart Pyrewell, but he's second behind Jim Benson at the moment, and it has been Benson that's done much of the winning recently within that class. Darren Ball did most of the winning in the first half of the year. Jim Benson's done most of the victories, or had most of the victories, in the second part of the year in the 6-cylinder class.
Darren Ball had a hike back in the previous race, didn't he, because the car stopped.
Yeah, but he's got 2 of them, which is
handy.
It is handy, isn't it? So he can race 1 in the BMWs and 1 in the Enduro. So Paul Cook piling the pressure on Graham Crowhurst there, with Gary Cufford not too far behind. So this is the battle for the M2 class lead at the moment, with some rapid M1 machinery up behind them as well. Cook pulls out of the slipstream to the outside line as they go into Stowe, but Crowhurst, I think, a bit later on the brakes probably, as they go through the right-hander.
Yeah, I think you could be very, very brave to go around the outside at Stowe, even though they're taking a fairly liberal, making very liberal use of the curbs. Hufford now right with those 2 M2 cars.
Yeah, he is. So he's in theoretically a more powerful machine. See if we can make use of that. There's you can see that gap back from the first 4. Kerry is in 4th position behind Cut and Davidson, and Pensavalli now has got away a little bit from Cut, hasn't he? So he's now more focused on defence.
Oh, very sideways, one of those red cars in the background, and that's lost him some time.
It was Hufford, wasn't it?
I think it probably was.
The road. And yeah, Cook's now ahead of Crowhurst as well, so Cook has made it through the M2 class lead. Still trying to find a way back onto the circuit is Gary Hufford.
Yep, he's got it, he's back on, but he's lost a few places, as you say. Number 4 car of Gary Hufford.
So making their way through some of the cars from the lower classes, are down the International Pit Straight, but along the Wellington Straight come our leaders, and Robert Davidson's not really close enough yet to make a move on Michael.
Hufford's lost about 3. He's just in front of Kaz Singh by the looks of things.
Okay, so leaders are back with me then to complete their 3rd lap, and it's Pensavalli getting away in the lead. Oh, and there's Davidson using a bit too much of the curb, just kicking up some of the gravel dust on the exit of Luffield there, so he loses a few car lengths to Cut. He's nearly a second behind now. Kerry 4th, Paul Cook up to 5th, as you can see, Crowhurst 6th, and Kempton and Gurney now ahead of Hufford, 7th, 8th and 9th. There's Darren Ball, 2nd in class 6, just ahead of Stuart Pyrewell in his Good Metal Grey 1 Series, which is a slightly more nimble car, you might suggest, than the 3 Series. And that clear of Matt Page in 16th place, who leads the Cup class. Here is that battle for 3rd, though. For 2nd, I beg your pardon. Cut has Davidson behind him as they head down to Stoke Corner, but Davidson not close enough there, Marcus, to do anything about him. No,
it's it looks like the intent's there, but doesn't quite have the speed at the moment. You can get back with him, Michael Cut, but you can't unseat him by the looks of things at the moment.
Of course, Davidson finished 5th in race 1 and Cut 3rd. Their best laps earlier on, actually not dissimilar. Cut 2:23.2 and Davidson a 2:23.8. So not a huge amount to choose between them. 1 into the pits is number 37, Cavan Granger. His 3:30 out of the race.
Yeah, here they come back into the tight corner at Farm. Leader still probably 3 seconds clear of his pursuers. It's still cut from Davidson. And then Rick Kerry, who just can't quite live with them. How do his lap times compare, Ian?
So Rick Kerry he's done a 2:21.87 actually, so he's gone quicker than the two ahead of him. He's done low 2:22s. And quite a bit quicker than everybody else. But Pensavala's done the best lap of the race at 2:20.93, which is faster than the earlier race.
That was very, very close at Brooklands there. As probing up the inside was the silver car, which is that of Robert Davidson, the 33 inside Michael Cutt, but Cutt just managed to squeeze the throttle and got out of it.
So over the line go our leaders to complete 4 laps. We've had 8 minutes, so we've had 10 minutes of the race. We've got 8 minutes or so left to go.
Yeah, the lead stretched to 3.2 seconds, but 3/5 of nothing between second and third place drivers on our screen.
Next car to come past me is going to be Colin Whitmore in the number 35 machine, and he completes his 4th lap in 12th position.
Gurney's up into 7th in 91, ahead of Kempton in 11. Looking down the inside towards Stowe was Robert Davidson, but he wasn't quite close enough, and they've both gone way off on the exit, and that's going to play a little bit into the hands of Rick Kerry, who should be able to sneak a couple of lengths back on them for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're heading up towards Club Corner. Pensavale there, you can see, leading by more than 3 seconds now, but Rick Kerry in 4th place.
Looks like he might be in the ascendant.
He is, definitely. Well, his last lap was a 2:22.40, which was slower than Davidson, but this lap he has closed the gap. He was 1.3 seconds behind at the beginning of it. It looks like it's a little bit less than that now, as we watch one of the back markers head down the straight. That is the 68 car of Gareth Thomas. There is Robert Davidson, our 3rd place man in the CPD sponsored machine. So there we are, there's our top 4 on the Wellington straight, heading down towards Brooklands Corner for the 5th time. Davidson sort of shows his nose to Mike Cutt, but nothing he's really able to do about him there. They turn their way now through the double right at Luffield with Rick Kerry. Yes, I think he is a bit closer than he was on the previous lap to those two. Get confirmation of that on your screen in a moment. So it was 1.31 seconds behind as they go through. Cutt's done a personal best lap of the race, but he's now 1.14 seconds behind, so he's a couple of tenths closer. Crowhurst just a personal best lap as well, I can see, 2:23.66, and Hufford back ahead of Kempton as well for 8th place.
Okay. Well, Cutt did get a little bit, he trimmed about 3 or 4 tenths back from the leader.
Yeah, he did. It was 2:22.4 that time for Pensavale, 2:22.02 for Cutt, who did his personal best. Down the straight they go, just having lapped the 68 car of Gareth Thomas then in one of the Cup class machines. It is, by the way, Jim Benson still leading the 6-cylinder class in his blue car, blue 330, driver that raced in the Compact Cup in the past. And he has had a pretty good season actually since he really hit his straps. Just looking at how many class wins he's had, well, 7 including that this morning, which is not a bad record. The most class wins of anyone, of course, has gone to Matt Page with 11 out of 12 now, 12 out of 13 with the one he had this morning, looking to make it 13 out of 14 this afternoon. There's a battle going on between Carl McMillan and Paul Laramie. This is for 23rd and 24th position, but 3rd and 4th within the Cup class. Both of them, as you can see, novice drivers, because they've got the black car cross on the yellow background on the rear of their car. having a really good dice though for third and fourth in this budget class. A very good way of getting into rear-wheel drive racing. And it's going to be 31 car of Laramie that draws alongside Macmillan and indeed gets ahead of Macmillan as they head down the start and finish straight.
Macmillan Fort Laramie. Sounds like a western.
Oh, and Davidson again quite close at Brooklands to Mike Cutt there, but he has been on a few occasions already during this race.
Yeah, they are. I think they are slowing each other up just a fraction.
They are. I think we'll find that Rick Kerry is closer to them again as they come through this time.
Cutt's car's sliding around quite a lot more now. So he's using those tyres up.
And that's something that we talked about earlier on as possibly coming into play. The lead has come down to 1.7 out, and that's Laramie off. After that move on Macmillan to get third in the Cup Class away, he's had a spin, I'm afraid to say. And,
it was a harmless one, but it was quite exciting.
It was. I'm sure that's what he was thinking.
Drived all locked up and backwards, but managed to keep it out of the way of any barriers.
So he's now making his way down the hangar straight, and not too far behind him, I think you'll find now, the leaders. There's Darren Ball and Stuart Pye. Well, they're still at it, disputing 14th and 15th overall, and second and third within the six-cylinder class. There's a bit of contact there, I think. Pye up on the inside, he's got through.
Pye's car looked like it just got a little bit out of shape, having had a minor brush.
Turning their way through the right-hander then, Cut 1.7 seconds behind Pensaval on that last lap.
He's getting closer, isn't he, still?
Yeah, Cut was a second, or just over a second faster than Pensaval, so it could be quite tight by the time we get to the end of this race, I reckon. There's a nice little strap about to head through Woodcote past me. I think this actually is the one that involves Ball and Pywell, and it's now got Matt Page in his Cup Class car attached to the back of it. Those two ahead of them have slowed each other up.
Leader is now within range of Michael Cutt.
Yep, he is, isn't he? As they're heading down to the right-hand hairpin at Village and back to your end of the circuit.
Yeah, so got to keep it all clean through here. There's a slower car ahead of them, which shouldn't be too much of a problem to dispose of. One of the there might be that was it that Laramie car? It could well have been.
Yeah, I think it is.
Leader's gone past. But what's going to happen down at Brooklands, because the next bunch are going to arrive together?
They are. Davidson's going to the right-hand side of the circuit. Cut moves across to defend that. And so it's going to be Davidson following Cut through. And what's the gap going to be? Well, it was 1.7 seconds at the beginning of the lap. I reckon there's going to be 2 more laps to go here. And it's not a cast iron certainty that Michael Pensavalle will be able to cling on to the victory. Over the line he goes. Over the line goes Michael Cutt, who's done another personal best lap of the race, and the gap's down to 1.4 seconds. Only 3/10 taken out of it that time, but nevertheless Cutt is a little bit closer, and Pensavalle will be starting to feel the breath on his neck a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think he'll feel the heat, and he carries a lot of speed into the flick-flack down here at Beckett's as he heads down the hangar straight and then turns towards the setting sun over the club. He will, if he can get down there. Oh, and was that Pensavalle? I think it was over the grass.
It was, and
it was.
That has narrowed the gap, and Mike Cutt carries more momentum down the hangar straight as a result, and he's got ahead, and he's taken the lead. Michael Cutt has taken the lead of the race away from Pensavalle, so it's actually happened a bit sooner than we thought with that little bit of a mistake onto the grass for Pensavalle, and Michael Cutt therefore retakes the lead with only less than 40 seconds of the timed element left.
Pensavalle cut the grass, cut past Pensavalle.
So he did. Right, it's not over yet though. Can Pensavalle bounce back? And don't forget Davidson's in there as well. It's a great three-way fight.
He's got a lot of grunt, hasn't he, Pensavalle? He looks like he's determined to seize it back, and Rick Kerry's not totally out of it. Now the boot's on the other foot now. It
is, right. So I think we'll go into the last lap this time around. So a lap and a half to go here, making their way through Farm. Which, a great shot that with the sun setting behind the drivers, turning their way into the loop now, and it's Pensavalle and Davidson. Kerry there in fourth. Reminder, it's Paul Cook leading the Class M2, Jim Benson the 6-cylinder class, and Matt Page the Cup class. Down the Wellington straight they go. Pensavalle trying to find a way back through. Looks to the left, right again. Trying to go around the outside of cut too far back to make that work.
Yeah, he could destabilise himself doing that if he's not careful. He needs to leave it for one more go. He may not know, of course, that they're going on to the last lap this time through.
He will do now because...
Oh, and a little bit of tail slide from Michael Cutt, and that's allowed Pensavalle to get it very close. It's about 2 BMW lengths, the gap between them, and as they hook over the curb on the inside of Woodcote, they cross the line and they're just 1/4 of a second apart.
Yeah, and this is the last lap now. That's all it is, just over 1/4 of a second, then half a second back is Davidson. But Kerry really gained on that lap as well. He's now only 1.3 seconds behind Davidson. He was further behind on the previous lap.
Yeah, Cutt's now got the advantage going into the left of Beckett, now the right. Now the exit, have they come on towards Chapel Curve.
Turning their way.
And he's got just enough lead, hasn't he? He's not going to give too much of a tow down here, but we know that Pensavalle's car looks really quick in a straight line. And yes, you can see it just drops the silver car, doesn't it? Shakes it out of the slipstream. How late can Michael Pensavalle brake for Stowe? He uses all the track going in.
Yeah, he's not really close enough to cut, though, is he?
No, he's not.
1/4 of a second at the beginning of the lap has gone out considerably in the first. Well, not quite half a lap, probably about half a lap now as they arrive at Club Corner. Turning their way through there.
Well, it's here that Pensavalle is so quick. Look, you can see the car has got that much more grunt and a better exit speed. And they've got cars ahead of them to worry about as well. The top 4 together coming up to Abbey for the final time.
Yeah, it's 2:10 car of Michael Dark that they need to lap. He is in 22nd position, one of the 6-cylinder drivers. Does he manage to keep out of the way of the leaders as they come through? Yes, he does. Then there's another one as well, which I think is Mark Culmer's number 66 car that they need to find a way past as well. Down and past you for the final time, Marcus.
Yeah, this is really tight, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. And here they go then, powering through on the inside. If there's a slower car, they go past, lapping at Aintree. Onto the straight they come. It's going to be a drag race down to Brooklands.
Yeah, it certainly is. In the tow is Pensavalle, goes to the right, Cut moves across to defend that. Can Pensavalle, who's not got as much car racing experience as Cut, do anything about him? Taking a different approach into Luffield for the
That's the way to do it.
time. It is, but he's still behind, Can he draw alongside? Can he win the drag race to the line? I don't think he can. No, it's not going to be close. He cuts the curb on the inside and he loses out by only about a car length in the end, 0.12 seconds. The difference between number 44, our race winner for the final time this season in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship, Michael Cutt. 146 Michael Pensavalle, a 10th behind in second. Half a second behind the winner was Robert Davidson, number 33. 4th to number 2, Rick Kerry. 5th to 26, Paul Cook, who wins the M2 class, but only by 4/10 of a second from number 15, Graham Crowhurst. Then Gary Hufford is 7th. Hugh Gurney crosses the line now in 8th place. David Kempton, probably a bit of a disappointing run for him in the second race. He will take 9th position in car number 11, although he's had some success during the course of this year. Kaz Singh it will be that will round out the top 10 in the number 3 car, which goes across the line now. Still to get our winners within the classes through, well, within the 6-cylinder and the Cup classes. It should be Jim Benson that hangs on for the win in the Cup class, in the 6-cylinder class.
Had a very big lead, had sort of 30-odd seconds lead over Kevin Denwood and Stuart Pywell.
Yeah, so yes, with Darren Ball dropping back from that battle, of course.
Matt Page had 22 to Clive Watson.
Yeah, so both of those should get their class wins sorted out. Colin Whitmore goes across the line there to complete his race in 12th position. Jim Benson now does take the checkered flag to win the 6-cylinder class. He just appears into your view now. He's flashing the lights. He's very pleased to end the season with another win. I think his 8th of the season. And then it should be Matt Page appearing around Luffield Corner in the not too distant future, our 2019 champion in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Well, there's Stuart Pywell, and just behind him, if we can see the car behind, that will be Matt Page. There he is now, number 46 then, our champion. Matt Page heads his way through Woodcote Corner and finishes his final race of the season as the BMW Car Club Racing Champion of 2019. And that brings to an end a tremendous season of racing for the 750 Motor Club, and a very entertaining weekend as well, Marcus.
Absolutely, yes. And we had that total contrast between yesterday's monsoon and the glorious autumnal conditions today for the sprint races, or relative sprint races. We saw, of course, the absolutely spectacular Club Enduro. That was really hard fought. The Road Sports, another good race, and the Hatches and the BMWs all played their part in this finale to the 750 Motor Club's 80th anniversary season. Roll on the 81st.
Yep, thank you very much indeed, Marcus, down there in the Beckett's commentary box today, and for your company at a handful of meetings during the course of the 2019 season. Look forward to working with you again in 2020.
Count me in.
So, a great season it has been. A few more champions crowned this weekend. Lee Scott in the Classic Stock Catch, Matt Page in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Of course, Steve Cheetham winning the Club Enduro Championship earlier on today as well. Dramatic finish with both of the two protagonists in classes B and C both taking class victories, which is as much as they could do, but just by a couple of points the advantage going the way of Steve Cheetham. And it's been great racing all the way through the 750 Motor Club season. We're looking forward to a great season in 2020 as well. We've got the Alfa Romeo Championship switching over to the 750 Motor Club for the first time next year too, for a 6-meeting programme, 5 of which will run with the 750 Motor Club, so we'll very much look forward to them joining the regular roster, and I'm sure we'll see lots of what we've seen in 2019, but bigger and better as well. We've seen some fantastic entries, and the 750 Motor Club, I think, really is the envy of many other clubs in UK circuit racing today. So from me, Ian Soman, up here in the commentary box, and Marcus Pye down at Beckett's, we'll say a very good night to you. It's been a pleasure working with Marcus. It's been great to talk to you all throughout the 2019 season. But from me, Ian Soman, it's down for the final time to Lewis Beals in the pit lane.
Thank you very much, Ian. And yeah, you've done an absolutely sterling job during the season for the 750 Motor Club commentary, along with Marcus and the other members of the team. And today I've joined it. First time I've been at the 750s. Sprint meetings. Was here yesterday for the we are waiting for Michael Cutt, who signs off the 750s 2019 season with an absolutely stunning. Come on, Michael, come and have a talk to us. My microphone don't work underneath all that metal. Michael, absolutely delighted with that, I bet.
Absolutely, yeah. Took advantage of the little mistake by Michael there as well. But wow, that's a good end to the season. That I really deserved that after Snetterton and in this morning, really greasy. I couldn't get a lap together. So I'll thank everybody who's supporting me. It's been absolutely fantastic season. Thank Neil for making a championship happen. It's been absolutely fantastic. It really has, and I'm rewarded with a win at the end of the season. I can't be more pleased.
Well done. I tell you, I was watching on the telly, and you took advantage, and that's what, you know.
I didn't make a mistake around here. We were nearly absolutely neck abreast over the line, and yeah, I made it into I can't think what the hairpin's called, past the wing there, and he was right with me there, and I thought, wow, that's it. But I just managed to hang on by the short tail. So yes, absolutely magic. That was magic race.
Okay, mate. Thank you very much. Well done. Who else have we got? There's a big handshake here. Sorry, who are you?
I'm M2, Paul Cook.
M2, Paul Cook. Sorry, Paul. Everyone there, you haven't got the name on there. Paul, many congratulations. You had a win.
Yeah, good. I was a bit disappointed with the second earlier, but the result stands, and it was a really hard fought win. Graham has pushed me all the way, and he's pushed me all the way towards the end of the season, which is all good for next year.
Well, that's good news, and end of the year with a victory. So you're going to go into the winter all buoyed up.
It's a good way to end the year, and look forward to next year now. I got to take me a day or two to get over this race today.
Okay, mate. Thanks very much. So that was Class A and Class B. We got Class C. Sorry, 6. Class 6. I do beg your pardon. Class 6, which is Jim.
That's right, yeah. Thank you very much. It was all tied, 3 of us, 118 points each for second place. So it was all to play for in this one. Managed to carry the form through from the last few races and come out on top, thankfully.
Well, so you sneaked second place.
Second place in the championship, yeah, so very, very pleased. Darren Ball wrapped in race 1. He was uncatchable by the time we came here. Yeah, second place was all to play for. So it's the cards fell right and I picked them all up.
Well done, Jim. 2 wins on the day. You've made second place. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So our Cup class winner is car number 46. It's Matt. Here's Matt Page, and we spoke earlier in the day. Matt, yeah, you're another double winner.
Yeah, I know. It's really good day today, to be honest. I'm really happy, and that performance there was awesome. Really.
Well, it's good. Just move away from the gantry. The old metal doesn't do too well with the microphone. So good end to the season for yourself.
Oh yeah, thoroughly. I'm burnt out from that. It's so tired battling with them Class 6s. Then just sticking it there in amongst them and trying not to mess up their race too much. But at the same time, I want to battle with them as well. You know.
Well, congratulations, and we hope to see you back in the BMW CCR Championship.
Yeah, hopefully next year. Maybe build myself a faster car for next year.
That would be good. That would be excellent. Well done. Thank you very much. So that's the end of the 750 Motor Club meeting here at Silverstone. That's the BMW CCR Championship, who's wrapped up the 2019 season, which is the 80th year of the 750 Motor Club. So on behalf of the 750 Motor Club, may I thank all the competitors, especially the marshals and the medical crew and officials for all their hard work during the season. And we all hope to see you back here supporting the club in 2020. Me, Lewis Beals, signing off, and good night.